Okay, well, check out what I have today. Some vintage audio equipment. This is a Pioneer SX-650. I don't have speakers connected yet. I just have AC, so I want to see if it even turns on. And it does. Do we get a speaker relay click? And we do. Okay, let's connect some speakers now. And it does appear that a lot of the panel lights are actually still working in this thing. Yep. Okay, let's connect some speakers. Alright, I do have speakers connected at this point. Let's power this thing on. I do have an FM station tuned right now. And it is working. I'm not getting the stereo light though, but let's go ahead and get over to auxiliary input and I'll start an MP3. And as you can tell, the volume control is definitely in need of help. So I actually only have one channel connected right now. And that is the left channel. But listen when I turn the balance. Very bad condition right there. So I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the right channel and disconnect the left channel. Okay, so I only have the right channel connected at this point, and it sounds perfectly fine. Wow, and it actually fades out really good. Treble seems to work. Bass seems to work, at least on that one channel. Let's go to mono. Does seem to affect both channels equally. Alright, both channels reconnected. Seems to only be the left channel that's having the problem. But nevertheless, I think we just need to go ahead and do a complete cleaning. Some of the lights might be out on this thing. I know the stereo light does not work in the stereo mode. I can actually hear that it's in stereo, but the stereo beacon is not illuminated at this point. So I need to go ahead and just, let's take a look at this thing. Some vintage electronics. This thing's probably from 1978 or so, I'm going to guess. Really nice looking Pioneer SX-650. It's definitely had some use. It's been around the block a time or two. But let's turn the top off and take a look and see how things used to be built. Okay, so I've got the top off of this thing, and what a beautiful design. I was wrong about the date. I looked it up. This is from 1976. Look at that big old open gang capacitor. 3 FM stages, 2 AM stages. Everything is just beautifully laid out. Pretty easy to work on, I would have to say. And I thought for a moment that these panel lights were going to be the original lights in this unit until I looked down here and I saw wire nuts. And I'm like, no, Pioneer does not put wire nuts in here from the factory. They hardwire everything. But here is the power amplifier assembly. Nice heat sink down there. But look what I see. Those aren't STKs. They're, I think, SW40s. An early Darlington power pack scheme. They seem to work pretty good. Big old beefy transformer. A couple of 8,000 microfarad filter caps. 50 volt. Probably still in excellent condition. But I noticed when I turned this thing on, only 2 of the 3 indicators light, and like I said, the stereo indicator does not even work in this thing. But for some odd reason, the power indicator works. So I think somebody might have replaced it. So I'm going to have to address the customer and see if he wants to go ahead with an LED upgrade on this thing, or are we just going to let it fly the way it is. Now this one's like some of the receivers from the mid and late 70s. It actually has a flat panel on the back, as opposed to having all the jacks on the back of the unit. Sorry, it's upside down. But it did make connections a lot easier with that flat panel. I remember when I was young, I had a Hitachi stereo receiver that had the exact same thing. So specs on this: 35 watts RMS and 8 ohms or 4 ohms at 0.3% total harmonic distortion, 18 watts at 0.05% total harmonic distortion. So not too shabby specs on this little Pioneer SX-650. But I think it's just going to need some TLC, some deoxit, and we'll take a look at the solder connections. I think they're going to be okay. These things were workhorses back in the day. Well, I went ahead and pulled the bottom off the unit just to take a look around and see if I see anything. And this thing is actually in extremely good condition. Even where the power pack ICs are mounted, I don't see any soldering issues whatsoever. Rectifier board right there looks great. Fuses, all perfect condition. All these connections look absolutely pristine. I don't see any problems with this unit. Big difference between now and the way they used to build these things. These might look funky back here, but I can assure you the pins are soldered. I'm not sure what that little spike is. I think it's just a result of the soldering operation. But the main pins are actually soldered quite well. Anyhow, I thought I'd show you a quick look at the bottom of this unit before I fired it back up. Okay, well I did go ahead and clean all the pots and switches. I used deoxit F5 on all the pots and D5 on all the switches. So I have it on FM right now. No problem whatsoever. Let's go ahead and switch it over to auxiliary and I'll start an MP3. Sounds absolutely perfect right now. Bass is working on both channels. Treble's working perfectly. So I think that's it. Everything's good. All the switches and stuff. Now especially you got to watch out for these tape monitor switches. They're working perfect. A lot of times you get a lot of crackling when those things are bad. So I went ahead and cleaned all the switches, all the pots. I just need to contact the customer and see if he wants to go ahead and replace the incandescent lamps with LEDs. Although it's strange that power indicator is still working. And I do believe, if I look back in here, that this is probably the original lamp that Pioneer installed in this unit. It still has the factory glue on it. I did go ahead and verify that this lead right here, which drives the stereo indicator out of the multiplex IC, is working perfectly fine. No problem there whatsoever, so the lamp is defective. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for this part. Maybe the customer wants the LEDs replaced. Maybe this is going to be the end of it. Anyhow, I certainly hope you enjoyed the video on the short cleaning of the Pioneer SX-650. Go ahead and leave me a question, a comment, a concern down below, good or bad. I try to respond to the comments when I have time. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button and like this video. It really helps my channel grow. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at NorCal715. You can email me, norcal715videos@gmail.com. That's the best way to contact me. Please be patient. I have a full-time job and I do this in my spare time. If you send me messages on social media, it might be weeks or even months before I even check them. I hardly ever look at those things. So please, if you want to contact me, use the Gmail. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everybody, thank you for making it to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, I do have speakers connected. Let's go ahead and power this thing on. It does light up. And I've got an FM station tuned right now, so let's go to the auxiliary input. I've got it on auxiliary now. I'll hit play. Volume control is very dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. So I went ahead and disconnected the right channel. In the center, it works pretty good. So let's go ahead and reconnect that. Okay, now I have only the left channel connected. Now I only... All right, let's take that again. Freaking really? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the right channel. Okay, right channel is disconnected. Very distorted. So now I'm going to go ahead and reconnect the right channel. All right, we're going to take that whole thing over because of the cat. And Darlington Power. Okay, now I do have only the left channel connected.